It's time for some spooky snakes and roses. These took forever, but they were a ton of fun. So I shaped my natural nails and I did a gel dip with this Fine and Sandy from Nail Boo, which goes on this khaki color but glows in the dark. I thought that was pretty cool. So then what I did is I went on to the next element of this crazy design. I made these little 3D roses, and they will go on my nails kind of like this. So I'm going to show you real quick how to make these. They're pretty easy. You're going to need a silicone form mold. Now, I'm not being sponsored by any of the companies I've mentioned here. These are either things that have been in my stash or I picked up off of Amazon or one of the local beauty supply places. So this is red carpet gel nail polish in the color All Bundled Up. This is not one of my favorite brands because it's rather thin, but it worked pretty well in this situation because you need to get it into these little nooks and crannies in your mold. And if you get air bubbles, I got a couple air bubbles on a couple of tries, and they really do mess up your form. So you got to be able to get it in there. So I'm using a relatively thin gel polish, but I'm just going to go ahead and really try and cram it in there. Again, you don't want any air bubbles. And it's going to take several layers. Again, if your gel polish is too thick, as some of you know, and you go to cure it, you end up with uncured polish underneath, and you don't want that. So you don't want to just puddle this full and stick it in the lamp. You want to go ahead and do it in a couple of layers. So we'll start with the first layer. Now see how I mushed it all around up there? We're going to go ahead and take one of my little flexible cards that I use for stamping. Just wipe off the excess polish that's on the surface of this. And then we'll go ahead and stick it in the lamp. So that's our first layer. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I'm going to do just a couple layers to start to build up my color. Again, just like last time, get any polish off the surface, cure it again. So now when I feel like I've got some good coverage in all those little crevices, I'm going to come in with my top coat. So my top coat is going to dry without a sticky dispersion layer. I've learned from doing this that you don't want your top coat to puddle. You want it to be a little concaved because that's going to curve to the shape of your nail. So think about that when you're filling it up. But the clear polish makes it so you don't have to use so much of your colored polish, but also the top coat is a little more durable than the polish itself. So you're going to get a form that is not going to be damaged as easily as if you just did this with nail polish alone, because nail polish is pretty soft even when it's cured. So there you go. Okay, now I've gone ahead and taken that same red and painted a few of my nails, and I've gotten out my stamping supplies. This stamper, I liked the silicone, but I didn't like the holder it was in, so I stuck it on this piece of acrylic I got from the craft store. It works pretty good. Now, if you need, you can go for a sticky base coat on your nails. This one is from Maniology. It is a regular enamel polish that will dry with a slightly tacky surface. So if you are a slow stamper, this is a good product to have. So any kind of a base coat that dries with a slight tack to it is going to make your stamp design pull off of your silicone stamper a whole lot easier. but it is an enamel, so you're going to have to let that dry. Now what I've also done is I've also gone and applied a skin protector to my nail. So this, you can get this in latex and latex free. It's brush on. Once it dries, it just creates a little barrier so that when you are stamping and you stamp on your skin, you can just peel it all off and you don't have to worry about trying to get the nail enamel off your skin. And if any of you have done this, you know that black nail polish makes a mess. So picked up my image. It's this lacy little fishnet design. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on. Now, the image is a little shorter than my nail, so if you watch really closely here, I'm going to drag the image just a little to stretch it out so it gets to the tip of my fingernail. And there you go. Now, is it perfect? Nope, but that's okay because we're going to add more on top of this. So I am not worried about that. I'm not going to do it over again because that's good enough for what I'm doing. So I've got both of them done, and I need to add another element. So I've got a different plate, same black nail polish, same stamper. Going to go ahead and swipe and pick up this image, clean up anything I don't want to transfer. And then go ahead and apply this one, and then move along to the rest of my nails. Clean it up, and here we go. Now, these are called Fantasy Nail Forms. They're from Kirsty Meakin. If you follow Kirsty Meakin online, she has some fabulous products. Again, not sponsored, but she just has fabulous products. These are really cool. They are forms for doing artwork with. So they're flexible. They are not press-on nails. They are used for creating nail art. And because they are the shape of your nail, you are creating the art with that arch already part of the design. So they're super cool. Now, the next component I'm doing, I'm not going to create on the form, but I'm going to use the form to help me out when I'm going to cure. So I've got the size I want, and I'm going in for my 3D sculpting gel, and we're going to make that little snake that you saw in the beginning. Now we're just going to roll it out just like you'd make a snake in primary school with Play-Doh or something. And I'm going to just keep shaping it until I get a shape that I like for my nail. Now you can see here, I went ahead and put it under my lamp for just a few seconds, just a flash cure, because I need to take it off, fully cure it, and paint it. So why didn't I just fully cure it now? Because I'm afraid that when I go to paint it black, I'm going to get black nail polish everywhere. So I've gone ahead and shaped it around the rose. You see that I went ahead and attached my roses. I just used my rhinestone glue to do that. No big deal. And I'm just being very careful to try and pull this off, because I did put a glossy top coat on my nail before applying my rose, or when I applied the rose. So flash cure is not making this stick very well, which is exactly what I wanted. So now what I need to do is I need to put it back under the lamp for a full cure. This is where the nail form is going to help me out, because it's going to make sure that it doesn't change its shape while it's curing. So here it is. I've painted them black. I'm just going to make sure that it fits the way I want it to fit. And I'm going to use my rhinestone glue to glue the pieces on. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'll do the other one and show you how they finished. So here we go. They're done. I've got a little black rhinestone spider on there. I need to add some bling, and I'm going to matte top coat them. So here is the finished product. Ta-da! I think they look pretty good. I blinged them. They glow in the dark. I think they're pretty cool. Happy Halloween.